I see. So you know what's interesting about banks is they will try to give you more money when you reject a loan. So they keep calling me from the bank, and this is probably the 20th call that I've gotten, telling me that if I need a loan, I can take the loan, but I already told them I don't want the loan. And they keep insisting, hey sir, I think you do need the loan. And I said, no, I don't need the loan. You want to give me money. And then, they keep increasing the amount of money that they want to give me. Sir, look, my wife already called you multiple times, and she said to cancel the loan. And they keep calling and they say, now it is not this amount, now it's this amount with X amount rated. And now it's like there is no way to cancel that. They always, how they get you. They tell you, do you want to hear our options? You will love it if you hear our options. And I say, oh yeah, of course. I don't want to apply for anything. Oh no, we're just gonna talk to you about the options. This is how they get you. Oh no, sir, we just try to get your. We just wanna explain to you some options. You don't have to accept anything. We just wanna make sure that you do wanna take the loan. They don't specify why you need it. They just tell you that you need it. They just tell you, hey, this is good for you. You asked for it once. Maybe it is for you to want it again. So then the lady says, oh yeah, I'm gonna transfer you to someone else that they will explain to you further down the line, which is the further steps that you have to take for you to take this loan. But I said, I don't need the loan. You told me that you were only gonna explain me my options. And so the lady says, oh yes sir, don't worry, hold on the line. Calls on the line, speaks to another lady. Hey, how are you? I'm the representative of the loans department and this. I was like, okay, great. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you doing, sir? I am here because applying for a loan. You want to see your options? I was like, yeah, they told me they were gonna explain to me my options or so. So like, okay, sir, let me transfer you to the loans department. Goes transfer me to the loans department, and now the lady starts saying, okay, sir, for me to tell you the options, you will have to be applying for the loan. And I'm like, no, they told me they were gonna explain me my options only. It's no, sir. For me to tell you your options, I need to tell you. I need you to sign up for already. I need you to be signing in for it, signing in for it right now. And so I said, no, I'm sorry, and I hang up the phone. Because if you really don't want to take a loan, shouldn't take it. You should always look at all the options that you have. Obviously, always look at the other options. Like, if you're really desperate, get a loan. If you're really secure, get a loan. If you feel like your business or whatever you're trying to do is going to be successful, take a loan. Otherwise, try not to never take a loan. You don't never want to be involved with the banks. Don't be involved with the banks. Well, that will be my suggestion. Obviously, it goes different for everyone. For everyone else, not financial advice. Always review your options. But back at it again. Today we have to make mucho dinero. We're back on DoorDash, and on DoorDash. We're back on DoorDash. We got an order for $14 for 25 minutes. So that's good. At least we're making dinero, and you're driving with me. You and I, we know each other for a long time. It's good that you find me. It was meant to be. We were supposed to be together, connected, and send message through our minds. Sleeping in the back, actually, and whoever else joins after is gonna sleep here, and whoever else joins fourths, and they sleep on the trunk. Then whoever else, then we'll hook them up outside. But by that time, probably we'll do something funny to make something out of it bigger. How are you, Senor Planca Man? How are you? How's your day? All right, so you're my first guest, so you're gonna be sleeping on the back. You get the big bed. I'll drive you everywhere you want. Just tell me, we'll go visit anywhere that you want. If you feel like, depressed and you feel like you can't get over your mind, then we're gonna drive and we're gonna speak about your life in depth. Good morning, senor. Good morning. All right, you're the second person. You're staying here on the front. You're driving with me. You're gonna be the co-pilot. You're putting the music and stuff. You're making sure the guy in the back is sleeping well, and we're making dinero. We're making dinero on DoorDash. So one of you will have to sign in, actually. Hello, Noob. How are you? Now Noob is, since he's the fourth, and now Noob gets to sleep on the trunk because we have no space here in the front. So Noob sleeps on the front, on the trunk, and then whoever else talks later is going outside of the car. You're sleeping outside of the car. There's no space for you here. You can probably talk to the guy in the trunk and see if there's space there, but I have some stuff there, so maybe you don't fit. Oh, there you go. There's the person who's sleeping on top of the car. How are you, sir? How are you? How's your day going? I hope you guys are having a great day today. I have my deposits coming for a situation. I'm talking as positively as I can. Don't talk like you're having lack of something. Always talk like you're receiving it, and you're gonna feel better about it. If you're saying like, "Oh, I need this, I need that," it takes you into this mindset of like, always be optimistic and talk about it like if you already have it or if you're about to have it. It's complicated at first, but the more you do it, the more easier it gets. And the more easier it gets, the better it is for you. Oh, I gotta go to Dunkin' Donuts. Hold on, it's this way. They're probably gonna ask me to go inside, so I'm gonna go inside. Tropi Yellow smiling. Hello, how are you? Boris Himmler, how are you? Hola. Hello. How are you, sir? I'm gonna go pick up this. I will take you, but sometimes it is complicated because I don't know how many bags it is. So I'll wait for me here. I'll be back. You can here, watch this. Yeah, it was mucho. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. We need to figure out something to do whenever I leave the car. Leaving you guys alone is no bueno. It's no bueno. If I leave you two unattended, that's no bueno. But you guys are accompanying me on my driving, so then that's okay. All right, welcome back. welcome. Okay, what are you guys up to? I'm on a mission, and now I have to take my life like this. But hey, once you do the mission, you get rewards. So make sure you guys do your side quest. Make sure you guys do your side quest in your life, so you can get benefits and you can level up as a character. Life is a game. You just have to don't feel stuck in your situation. Don't feel like there is no way out. Don't feel like just because she didn't text you back and then you happen to text her back a couple of more times, and don't put yourself down for that. There is always more to the picture out there that you just haven't explored. You just haven't explored it. But yeah, regardless of how it gets, it can always be worse. You can always end up in a car like me, and you can end up watching I started getting reminded of something. There is always something interesting that we can do. On the goal. What is the best feeling? The best thing that you can do? Vent it out. Just let it out, but let nobody see it. Because if somebody already saw it, you're gonna feel that you let a part of yourself and it wasn't appreciated. And the next time you vent out, you're not gonna say it with the emotions that you first had. So go away. It's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. And a lot of people say that, some people say put it to the side, they don't think about it, they distract themselves. Others, they say that they live with it. But nobody will tell you that they're getting stronger out of it, or something that you can actually see for yourself. You don't see this person and you're like, you feel, I feel like you have the same problems that I do, mentally. Physically is different. Physical stuff, problems, things like that. We all deal through that. You react different when you think different. You get caught up in the loop, and then you later, when you see someone having the same problems that you do, you tell them the same exact thing that they told you. Guess what's gonna happen? You bringing yourself down, and you bringing them down. Why? Negative and negative doesn't make a positive, though. So you already felt bad about it, and you become like, oh no, my life. That is not processing stuff. That's just like expressing your dilemmas to the world, kind of, in a way, a lot of those things, the way you always talk about your situation matters a lot. Always. Prove it to yourself. There is no one out there who will give you the satisfaction as much if you were to give it to yourself. What do you mean by that? Give yourself the permission to listen to yourself rant about something that you don't like, or rant about something that you have. But at the end, you have to see it with a lot of love. Because if you just rant about your situation and then you're like, you take a part of your pain and then you do something with that pain, like negative wise, you're not gonna heal from it. You haven't healed from it. You're saying that you have grudges, which is pain, inflicted pain by someone else, that it was never really for someone else, because they also had things in their mind which took them and make them take the choices that they took with you. You know, if you have a girl and then you don't understand why she all of a sudden lost interest in you, things like that. Women are very complex. Let me tell you that women are extremely complex. Women is the creative mind. Women are very creative in that sense. That's why they're free. They're more themselves. And that's attractive energy. That is feminine energy, is attractive energy. This is why when you look at a woman, you're like, whoa. No matter what, no matter how she looks like, she always looks attractive, right? Always looks impressive. Because she's a feminine, she's a female. Because her mind is projecting different thoughts than in the mind of the man. The mind of the man is, you know, you kind of look at everything in the logical side, and the logical is to control the emotions, to understand the emotion, to not suppress the emotion. If you suppress the emotion as a guy, you become like the guys that are fighting women on podcasts. Those podcasts that are fighting, oh boy, I don't want to get started on that. You become like that because then you have a lot of pain that you haven't let go, and then you keep telling everybody that, oh, this is what you're doing, because they couldn't let go of something. They're just traumatized from some other experience that they had as a child, in a childhood, you know, in their childhood. They have a lot of things from women, you know, the rejection, but they never question themselves why. And it's justifiable. The obliviousness of men is just justifiable. Everybody's okay with it. Nobody questions it because they think that's how they are. They're heavily contaminated in their mind, full of negativity, full of lust, full of habits that they cannot control, and I can just go on. There is more attacking the men than the women. Of course, this is why men are more trapped in their minds than women. Women are more free in that sense, but women cannot go as far as men can, because men is the one that rules. Men is the one that lays down the rules for everybody to follow. But if there is nobody, no good example as a man to follow, who are you going to follow? As soon as people start to realize that there is no hope everywhere they turn, religion, governmental wise, and all these sources of knowledge that we have to become better, to look for inspiration, and we don't find anything that inspires us actually, then you're gonna have a group of people following someone else's mentality, which could also be limiting to yourself, and sometimes admiring someone that you really look forward to. It is also we have to be selective who we follow too, because whatever they preach is also going to affect us. Even for me as well. Even for me, I speak only. You should always speak from your moment, from your perspective. Always express the things that has happened to you and speak from your own experience, not for whatever you hear around, because there's always going to be mixed ideas. But once you figure out what it is for you, what it is that causes you some reactions, causes you some feelings, causes you to do certain things, then you can see it for yourself. And once you see it for yourself, you're able to formulate an idea. It's not about going into a library and read every single book there is. It's all here. It's all here. Question yourself, the things that you do, the things that you watch, why you like them, why you do it, why you give it so much attention. All these different questions. Always question yourself. And the more you go to it, the more insight it gives you. The more you're like, oh wow, oh yes, actually I used to do that because this, and it kind of sounded good in the moment, and because you're also going through situations in the moment that adds up to it, and then eventually you start acting on it. You're acting on it without questioning, without any more resistance on why you're doing it, and you just do it, you know. No, senor, you're the first. I believe you were the first ones. You go in the back. I'll drive you everywhere. You're funny, my man. Hey, I'm happy you're here with me. You know, it's good to have you here. Your present matters. Don't ever feel like you're less. Don't ever feel like you're less just because you're in the other side of the screen and I'm here speaking. You're also very important. You also have a voice. The things that you say matter. The things that you think matter. But first, you have to see it why it matters for you. If you do not stand, if you don't have a formulated idea for what you stand for, it gets a little it's a little twisted. But just because you don't know it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's always there. So yes, I'm happy to have you here. Now, if you wanna go on the on the roof of the car, that's fine. We'll make it comfortable. We'll make it very comfortable. I like looking at people. I like observing people. You know, when you observe them without in a neutral way, you see them for who they are. You see them for who they want to be and who they try to be. All it takes is just a simple look. And you see that you start to realize that they also having the same problems, the same things that you do. You are all one. You're no different than the person you're speaking. You're no different than me, you and I. Let's go. We're not different from each other. Whatever I know, you also know it. I'm not saying anything here that only I know. It's things that everybody knows. It's just about becoming aware. It's becoming aware of it. And once you become aware of it, now you can make a choice. You can choose to do it differently. But always take care of your mind. Always take care of your mind. Take care of the way you speak and the interactions that you have. Always analyze the way you feel. If it's uncomfortable feeling, if it's a good feeling, if it's an awkward feeling, if it's a fear that you're feeling, if you start to shake, you know, that can tell you something about your personality that you don't know. You don't just shake or have these reactions because you're insecure. It comes from somewhere. Always. When you were a kid, you were more free. You will do things without any much hesitation on it. You will be more inclined to go into something because you didn't have much in your head to say no. You formulated that later in your life when you realized that life is not what you thought it was. It is harsh. You get a job, sometimes they belittle you more. They put you down and they tell you sometimes that you're not worth it, you're this. So many times I come into restaurants and I see very sad faces. Very sad faces of people that don't want to be there. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to do it. As if there was something else better to do. yeah, we understand. We have to work to make money, this, because the system that we live is require you to run it this way. And at some point we have to be dependent on it. But then when you become independent on the system is becoming aware of how powerful you are, how much you can do. You need to remember how powerful you were when you were a kid. You know how it is to feel powerful. You know it. You just forgot. Because the situations that you went through in your life, they made it more and more blurry over time. Difficult for you to see. But it does not mean that you cannot find it. I love having this type of thoughts. And you will see that everything is not as bad. And everything has never been as bad. It's just, the things that you kept telling yourself. The things that somebody else kept telling you in TV, in shows, and all these sources. Everybody talks about it the same way. Oh, I don't have money. I don't have this. I don't have that. Oh, I need this. I need that. Oh, I wish I could be this. I wish I could be that. And all these different expectations is what roots you into thinking that you can't have it. Carlos Fontes. Oh my God. Okay. I guess so. Hola, papá. Papá, ¿qué haces aquí? My dad joined. Okay, that's typical. That's good. Alright, I'll see you later, my friend. Hope you have a good day and you do well today and your life goes well. There's always a lot to say. There is always a lot to think. And taking the best choice, even if it doesn't seem like something you want. Even if it seems that if you take a certain choice to go a certain way, you will see that there's gonna be always fear in between it. There's always going to be that thing that what if it doesn't work? What if this happens? What if I'm just wasting my time? Those are the things that usually makes us not do anything at the end. But if we don't do anything, then we already failed anyways, because we didn't attempt to do something else. We didn't attempt to make it different, to try to do something different. And breaking the routine of doing something new is the first thing that we should always look forward to doing. So break the habit, do something different every day, talk differently, even on the way you move, maybe. Like, become aware of your actions, of those little actions that you don't pay attention to, that you feel like they're just there, they're like regular movements. The less care you put into it, the more loose, the more out of control you are. at the end, human beings are not supposed to operate with so much trauma in their minds. Are not supposed to be focusing on too many things at the same time. That's why people mess up. That's why people forget things. That's why people they have problems focusing, because how much things you hold in your mind, how much things how much resentment or from past experiences that you had, really hurts you. But it doesn't mean that it has to always be there. It means that you choose to do what you have to do. Be your own motivation. Just keep telling yourself, I will do it, I will do it. Yes, I'm gonna do it. I feel good, I feel great, I feel amazing, I feel awesome. Everything is coming well. Everything is working well for me. Manifest it. Talk about it. Talk about it with yourself. That's what will make you have a bigger impact in your life. You will be making different choices easily, without any resistance on it. No fears coming into your mind. And the worst thing that you can do is probably mention it to someone else what is it that you're doing. Because for them, they don't see themselves doing it. And they feel how complicated it is, so they will tell you based on whatever they know about it, whatever way they feel about it. They cannot encourage you to do it because they don't even have that encouragement themselves. So you have to find it in you first, so then you can share it with someone else. But always it starts with you first. Always. You come first. You're the first one to go. You have to look forward for you. You have to look after yourself and make sure that the situation that you're taking, the decisions that you're making are for the greatest, for your greatest reasons, and not for much of the benefit that comes later after, but rather for, you have to challenge yourself. If you don't challenge yourself often, then if somebody else challenges you, you will have a negative reaction, because not even you do it. So why would you let anybody else do it? You see how it goes? That's how it works. Okay. Handed to me. It is a door by the playground with slides and climbing walls. Okay. It should be the other way. Oh, I see. You will need drive down Long Rail past door 9, 10, 10. Oh. Yeah, these are the type of deliveries that are too complicated to make. Well, not really. They're easy to make. They're easy to make. Okay, so I gotta go door 9, 10, 10. Okay. I'll leave it out here. Okay, so let's do it. I'll be back, guys. I'll be back. Oh, phone is dying. Phone is dying. Go to Chick-fil-A. Accept. Directions. Alright. For a second, I panicked. I thought I delivered 2 orders, but it was only one. It was 2 big bags. That's why. 2 big bags, and it was $14. Usually, DoorDash, when it's $14, you usually always 2 deliveries. Or sometimes, because actually yesterday I took another one that was also $15, and it was 2 deliveries. Only one. But it is great that now I am making more dinero on DoorDash than before, because if it's a little, if it's over 6 like that, that's when you make, that's when you start making like 100. Want to go by, because usually regular people, the people that are doing okay, usually they make 100. They make 100 a day. 100 a day. I will say that it is good for you to have like an apartment, like a place to rent out. You still have to suffer a little bit, but if you make like 150, like 200 a day sometimes, and you're working like maybe, I don't know, 5-7 days a week, 6 days a week, then that adds up obviously, and then you make like, you make 1,000, 1,200 per week, which that would be amazing. But sometimes you don't even make that much. The most probably people make in restaurants compared to, oh yeah, actually, if I was to compare DoorDash with a regular 9 to 5 job, like a restaurant type of thing, maybe like one of those jobs like retail, I will say that maybe DoorDash makes a little more than a regular job. And a regular job, probably if you work in a restaurant, well, you let's say you do $100 in your check a day. Well, that is if you're in New York, they pay you 10 an hour. But I know there is places that they pay you like $5, $4, $3 an hour, and then the rest of it you make in tip. You can probably make. Oh wait, actually no. On Uber Eats, you actually make a little more. On Uber Eats, you make a little more money than DoorDash, because the distance are longer. There's more people having more there's more money coming in there. DoorDash is great. So you can make let's say, well, in a week, I so far this week I made 400, 450. So hey, for a week, and it hasn't even been over yet. It's being consistent, and maybe it's because of the area, because like I said, it's like this particular area is like one big road full of businesses, full of all this food areas, and at some points it gets very busy, and you get in order back to back, and it's always within the same area. You don't go too far, you always stay within, and you can always drive back, go back and forward, things like that.
make sure there is no music playing, because then I'm gonna get like warning, hey, you're copyright. I can probably play one of those copyright songs, non-copyright songs from like no copyright songs, but then it will have to be one of those, from the songs that people use on gameplays and stuff, which is good. It will remind me to the times that I used to do gameplays. I used to at some point had the idea of doing streaming for video games. I didn't get that far because also my wife was trying to become one, and somebody played her dirty. Somebody on the comments wrote some words that will say that it will, if you say it fast, it will make it sound like you're saying something that it will go against the terms and conditions in Twitch. So my wife said it. I mean, she didn't know. We were new into Twitch, but we were very excited about it. I was already making my account, and she got already like 80 people watching her, 80 people following her in a shorter amount of period. And because of that character that typed that, my wife read it, and like a minute later, boom, the stream shuts down. And then she gets a notice that because she went and said something and the AI captured it, now she was going to, she got her account suspended, I believe, for a month or so. I don't know, but she got her account suspended, and it was very dismotivating at the time. And I felt bad continuing my stream knowing how much she was enjoying it, and I just decided to put it to the side, and I didn't continue it. But it was a nice experience, because then you realize how people are. This is people, they just say whatever it's in their minds, and they throw it. They don't like to see someone happy. Some people are like that, and it's always going to be present. Whatever thing that you approach, whatever thing that you go for, there is always going to be someone who puts you down. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. And you have to be strong about it. You have to be strong about those comments and realize that they're not really saying it to you. Like, they will say that to anyone else. They will say certain things to someone else, even if they're not. And that's why people get upset about it. Is when you let things get to you that affect you, because you keep thinking about it, and you start thinking, maybe what if they're right, or what is that? Like, question yourself. Do I really this, that, that? Thinking, that process thinking of always analyzing the things that makes you upset, the things that makes you feel down, that is what's going to give you an answer. That is what's going to make you get out of the loop of constantly thinking about something bad, about something, and you don't always want to be like that. And if there is a way to protect yourself from it mentally, then why not do it? Alright, I'll be back.
wow. She was a very sweet lady. I'm gonna turn on my car really fast because the phone is about to die. Please don't die on me. Oh, it was 2%. Almost dies on me. Almost dies on me. The lady was very sweet. She was very sweet. She was very nice. She was like, "Here, honey." I was like, "Oh, thank you." Yeah. She was very sweet. Very sweet, very sweet. Very sweet, very sweet. It's a big order for Mr. Mitchell. Go, 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 go. They get too scared. They get too scared. Go. You need to yell at them. Go. We are starting strong. What else can I talk about? What else can I talk about? What else comes to mind? There is many things to discuss, guys. There is so many things to discuss. A lot of important things to discuss. A lot of important things to talk. A lot of undoing to do. Because we are like heavily, we all mentally ill. And no, we're not mentally ill. We're just trying to find out which is the right way. And there is so many ways. There is so many routes, so many paths that even we tend to get all tangled up, and then we make our own, and then we think it's the ultimately form of, and then we failed. always. But I really admire those people who really step out of their ways to do something better. That really stepped out of the role and decided to do something more than what everybody else seems to be doing. I had this friend. Well, I'm not gonna mention his name. He's a great guy. He used to work with me. He used to had a lot of troubles, trying to figure out things for himself. He was the flirty type. He was the funny type. He reminded me a lot of my brother because he will try to say something funny about me so everybody can laugh. Maybe that's why I like him a lot. Even though he had one of those personalities that, like a bully personality, I liked him because he reminded me of my brother. And sometimes talking to him, it was like talking to my older brother, and that just gave me a lot of satisfaction too. Because he will question me and he will tell me, "Hey Rick, why you do this? Why you do that? Hey, I don't think this." But I can tell that at the end, with all those questions that he was asking me, he was really asking for help. Instead of me seeing that in a negative way, even though I knew that his intentions weren't good, I always knew that he wanted to ask me for help. He just didn't know how. And it's funny because it's the same behavior that you have as towards women. You have like when you don't get the first intention, then you try to be funny, you try to be a little loud, you try to be a little obnoxious to get their attention, to get a reaction. Because also some men understand that women operate on emotion, so they will react more to an emotion than something physical. Keep in mind, but once you know this, then you're able to see that you tend to have a behavior that also cannot figure himself out. They cannot make a choice. They cannot make a move.
and in the long run, that's what happens, because as a man, your money doesn't necessarily mean that this should be all that you think, all everything that you can have. Because when you have all this money, then now everybody can do whatever they want. Now everybody can go anywhere they want. Now everybody can have all sorts of ideas, because now you have the ability to do so. You have the resources here to do so. So when you have it, you turn off your ideas, and then you start just doing whatever else everybody else is doing. You follow up, because that's what you see, that's what it's all about. But then if you start to analyze the people that are doing it, they're not doing so well themselves, because they try to get something, but they don't even know what it is. In positions of power, where they are more influential to other people, then what happens to people that are still trying to figure it out? They watch these people and they gain influence by them. That's why they call them influencers, because they want to get you an idea, they want to get you there, they want to get you to do something like that. And then when you have everybody else doing it, now you start seeing that, oh well, it's not because you're caught in a lot of lines. Ever since the internet came out, now everybody knows. Now everybody's powerful, because they have a device that contains all the knowledge for them. Everybody feels powerful with the phone. But if you didn't have a phone, how do you do it? Phones are a tool, but it's also the best weapon against you, against yourself, against your mind. Constantly engage in something that does not exist. It's created by another human and placed in this, in social media for everybody to watch. You can misunderstand something from one line to another, and then you can make it sound like you said something else. You know, the people create ideas, people create stuff out of that based on whatever they hear, whatever they understand. And it happens in all levels. It happens in every single level. And some of them are not wrong. They just have a misinterpreted idea of something. The wrong thing they do is share it as if it was something that everybody should be doing. But if it sounds bad to someone, if you cannot say that to someone that you in a normal conversation, then like if it sounds odd, there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Having to have like a having to have like a voice to explain the things that you go through it's a privilege. It's a privilege. But it always comes down to the way you think about the information that you're receiving, or the information that you're getting. Like, think about it twice, 3 times, 4 times, as many times as you want, as many times as you can, until it makes sense. And even when it makes sense, there's still question about it, and then you get a different perspective. Or maybe when you feel like you already done something, but then you feel some type of feeling in your heart, then maybe something hasn't been let go, and you need to think about what that is. You need to find it. And the journey of self-discovery is what's gonna give you the energy to do everything that you ever want without resistance, nothing at all. And it becomes better for you, and it will always be better for you. You will meet the right people. You will go on with the new mentality in your life, with the new mindset. Mindset. Set your mind to where you want it to go. Set your mind where you in the direction where you want it to go. For you to set it, you have to say it to yourself. You have to constantly say it to yourself.
oh, I have this coming, I am this, I don't have, don't talk about what you don't have. Talk about what you have. Talk about what lose most of the things that you acquire in the past. You come to appreciate those things that you never did, and you see that more beautiful aspects about life. Okay, I'm gonna move this right here for now. Okay. There's a lot to appreciate at the end. There's a lot of things to be happy about. But once you understand how fundamentally, how spiritually the human mind and how everything is connected, how complex the human mind is, how complex a person it really, really, truly is, you come to really appreciate people for who they are. You appreciate people for how they are and not for whatever they project. My wife used to say to me a lot that people will always try to take advantage of you. And in fact, it is true. But they will only do that at a certain extent. If they feel like they're being left out. If they feel like they're not being hurt enough, or if they feel like the other person is only contacting them just to get a benefit out of. Part of my story goes with when I was young, I used to see how much division there was among people. I always liked to have positive interactions because that's what I enjoy the most, and that's what everybody seemed to enjoy the most. And that's, you don't make it, I was taught that you don't make it a complicated situation, and I never truly understand those who throw a tantrum. So because somehow I wasn't allowed to, and because I wasn't allowed to, I felt like that was just something you just don't do. Like, how can you do that? You don't really understand it for yourself, and you keep questioning
why that behavior is there. It's because feelings are involved. Feelings that you were expecting something, and then it wasn't that way, and then it makes you feel a certain way. That makes you when it makes you feel a certain way. Yeah, I go deep into thoughts sometimes. I go deep into thought about this stuff because there's a lot of things to overlook. It's not just one aspect. I can speak about one aspect of it, but many of you can come up with many other aspects that are equally important. Whenever you ask in your daily lives, like for it's in your head right now, like, what do you stand for? That is one. What do you stand for yourself? Where is your respect in a way, you know? And then no, don't talk about like, oh well, I respect because I did this, I did that. No, those are the things that you do. Forget about what you do for your work. Forget about what you do for your any other distraction that you think you have going on, whatever other thing, you know, focus on why you do those things, on how it makes you feel, the feeling, describe the feeling. Oh well, I do this because doing this makes me feel that now I am complete. Okay, but why do you feel complete? I will say this for myself now. I have this example for me that why I always felt a type of way when I will see an aggressive guy, as an example, because you know that when you're a man, you know that no man is really dangerous. You see that nobody will be willing to go and hurt another man, because we do have a lot of respect with each other. Come on, man, have a lot of respect. Not control yourself, and you feel like everything has to be resolved like caveman. You don't do that. There's always ways to talk through. Of course, yeah, there's people that really, but obviously there's always points of origin for that. There is always a way, points of origin to that behavior, that if you were to take the defense mechanism from that behavior, because it's a defense mechanism that we all develop, that is to protect ourselves, that is normal, that is completely normal from a person. And obviously we tend to get intimidated because we don't understand it. But ultimately we should know that everybody has feelings and emotions and reactions and all of this, that just because someone is having a hard time with someone doesn't necessarily make it a bad person. But it's also speaking from level of resentment that is built up. This is why you cannot live with it. If you live with it, you're gonna have it always with you. And the moment that something triggers it, boom, there goes your ticking bomb. Everybody's a ticking bomb. That's why they say, ooh, someone got pissed off, somebody exploded, because they throw their whole lives on it. I did it myself. I was also there. Every single thing hurts, but that pain is what's going to build the person that you want to be, and it's gonna have the strength that you need. It's gonna have the power that you need, the resilience that you need. And it's gonna wake you every day. It's gonna wake you every day. And without any hesitation, you will just do it.
you will just do it like that. Because once you understand it, you cannot not understand it. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. That's why they tell you that. That's why they tell you, ooh, once you see it, you won't see it. And you're like, ah, yeah, right. You know, back in the time, I used to convince. When I started my developing journey, when I started trying to understand everything around me, because I started going nuts. It always comes down to a breaking point in your life. You know, at some point in your life, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I need to do something. But sometimes that just hits you too early. For me, it happened when I was 25. Exactly 25. Because from that moment and on, I started doing things differently. Why? Because I had a big event happen in my life, and I didn't want to do the same thing that my brother did. Oh, here's the thing. Before I continue, I know why my brother, you know, did what he did. But in a way, you know, this is how important siblings are for each other. Because for siblings is that you see a personality that you don't want, but at the same time you see a personality that you admire, because it's a different perspective. It's a stronger perspective, and they don't want to make the same mistakes you do. This is why you come to realize that the smartest will always be the youngest one. And the amount of power that youngest one has, it's insane. But the personality also is something that I admire. I wanted to be like that, but I didn't know how. And my wife will tell me that. When my wife will tell me and yell at me, Rick, and I will say, what? And I will go crazy fighting with her, trying to justify myself. And yes, I was. At the end, you come to realize that the things that she tells you and complains and nags you about have nothing to do with them not liking you anymore. They just see that you can become better and better and better because they feel it, because they feel you. They're your partners. And they start telling you that you can improve, you can get more and more and more and more. And this is why they tell you, oh, women are never satisfied. No, women are not. Women build. Women make men much more sophisticated. No, wait. Women make men more sophisticated. There you go. That was the same lady. Oh no. 3%. I don't think this charger is working, so I'm gonna switch it back. I need a shower. But yes, I remember part of the things that I was always in disagreeing is how come when I would teach something to someone, I wouldn't get like all angry and mad about it. Like I always had a problem with people yelling at me whenever they try to teach you something. Some people just don't have the patience for it. and they yell at you, especially women to men, or we find it as a man, you find it way too intimidating when a woman talks to you like, okay, let's get this out, come on. Wow. Super intimidating. They feel that type of way. They feel like a rejection type of thing, feeling. It is the same tone that my grandma used to teach me math. It is the same tone that, you know, every teacher I had talked with, that authority voice. And, you know, I had other examples of, you know, other people having softer voices. They were more patient, and you felt like you could be more with them than with someone else. You feel more pressure with some other people. And you know, things like that I will observe around me. You know, like, oh, I want to stay away from this, but I want to be close to that, but this and that. You grew up with all these different ideas, depending on where you were born. I was born in Mexico, and I came to see things this way. But for each and every one of you, you all have your own experience, your own observations, your own points of view, from different perspectives, from different angles. But it does not mean that it's wrong. It should still be respected. But first, you need to understand it first. You need to understand it for you first. You need to feel it for yourself first. You need to understand it. And once you understand it, then you can share it if you wish to. If you wish to share it. And there's always going to be disagreements. But instead of closing up when there is the disagreement, there should always be like a way where someone thinks about exactly what it is that they're trying to tell you. Because each time somebody expresses something, their lack of knowledge to something else can get them in trouble with some other individuals around them. And then you build up this fear of, oh, I shouldn't say this, things, this and that. Because then that also plays out a role in your mind. You're also manifesting, and you're creating as you think, as you go. And it becomes a loop. And that loop keeps repeating over and over until you come to understand that you first need to see it for yourself, for you to know that you're doing exactly that to other people. So because you do that to other people, they will do the same thing to you. Cause and effect. Basically, when you are something, you attract it. So if that's what you are, who you are, then that's what you're going to attract. That's what you will see. That's what you will sense. You don't want that. You want that to be gone. Then stop doing it to others, because they feel it in you. So you need to stop thinking in your mind, is it really about them or is it really about me? And it's because you haven't allowed yourself yourself to express yourself the way you want, because you feel like you can't do it in the moment, because you still have this, and you've done this, you've done that, so you've done a lot of things, bad things, to justify that you should be suffering or feeling the way you do. Alright, then you state it yourself. That's why it is so simple that some women do that. So women feel that, some women understand this, and they tell you as a man, and they tell you the words that come out of their mouths is, you're too childish. And for them it's like, what are you talking about? What? I'm not childish.
What is the thought? The idea, because that's what they're expressing, that's what they're talking about. And if that's what you are 24/7, then that's who you are. There is a person that is different inside here, but that person, you haven't given it the time of your day to analyze, to get to know. So that's why you get offended. Or somebody might feel offended. Because when you don't understand it for yourself, you're like, wait, how come I was supposed to know that? And you feel like you know. Because you do know. You do know it. But it's on your awareness. It has to be. You have to become aware of it. And that's when you can choose to do something different. It is that simple. It is that easy to do it. It is, you will come to realize that it's like dragging a kid out of their bedroom. Imagine you're the grown up and you're dragging yourself out of the bedroom by your feet, like, oh, come on, no, I don't want to, come on. You keep dragging that version out of you down the stairs. You go and throw it in the trash. You don't work for anything. That is the ego. The eat. La parte eat. The eat part. They said that in Spanish. Wow, that's crazy. The eat is your impulses. Your I need to do this, I need to get that, I need to do that. That is your eat. And then there is the ego that says, oh yeah, of course, I got it. That is the ego that says, oh, I know everything. There is nothing that you can teach me. There is nothing absolutely anybody can say to impress me. Because I know, and I know. Okay, so then if you know everything, there is nothing that you will know. That is why their evolution gets halted. That's why their evolution becomes limited. Because they told themselves that they cannot evolve because their ego is far more important to keep up. And they're keeping up to other men who are really not admiring them. And even if they come close to them, they feel like they have to act a certain way. You have to match the energy. Because if you don't match the energy, you're what? You're weak. That's what they say. That's why you feel. That's why you start feeling whenever you're in with this type of situation. It is not what you think. Like people say, oh yes, I think they do this. They feel this way about me. It's not about what you think. It's about what you felt. Don't neglect your feelings. Don't neglect your heart. It's what you felt. That feeling, it is your reading energy from the other person's intentions towards yours. That is why you feel a particular way and you don't like it. And then when you mention it, they act like it's not there. Like it does, like you're crazy. Like you're somehow a troublemaker. But you know that there is injustice. But they tell you not to worry about it. They tell you to push it away, not to think about it. The more you do that, the more you won't see it. But then you will come, the more longer it goes, the more you will act out like the same personality that put you down, and you repeat the same cycle. That's how it works, guys. Constantly repetition of a behavior that was caused, of a behavior that we saw, a behavior that caused us trouble, a behavior that changed our perspective in a lot of things. And that affected us in a way that we carry it out every day. And we make it our shield, our problem, we make it basically about everything in us. Because that's how impactful it is for a human being to go through. So there is always has to be
there's always has to be understanding of yourself, so you don't always have to act like you know everything. And even if so, asking shouldn't be made fun of. And also when you ask, it tends to be worse. I understand. But if you understand yourself, there is nothing to fear. Because if you understand yourself, there is no doubt. There is no insecurity. All of a sudden, there is nothing that you can do wrong because you're being yourself. Would you rather be somewhere else where you have to be fake, and if they don't accept your fakeness, then you get offended? No, you want to be yourself and at least be rejected for being you, but at least you were you. Why wouldn't you be yourself? It's who you are. And if they don't like it, you have to wish them so much love from your end. You have to accept every single thing that happened and was. And you have to always understand that the other person's behavior is totally the result of a lot of trauma that is projected towards you, but it's really nothing personal. And he also wishes that he could have done better, because at the end, that's what he wishes to be at the end. Nobody wishes to be rude. Nobody wishes to be a bad person. Nobody wants to do bad. At the end, there's always something within ourselves that makes us loving beings. That you have that spark. You have the spark in you. And that spark is what drives you and gives you a reason to live. And once you do that and let go with people that you don't wish to be around with, you can now move on into the next chapter of your life. And if they don't understand that, then they have things to figure out on their end. Because they should understand that you will always be there. You were always there. Your present and your mind was there. Your presence and your mind. And that is everything that we should be. Well, there's more things, obviously. There's a lot of things in different ways that I can say this. In bigger perspectives, you're able to see this for someone else. And you're able to put yourself in their position. Be like, if I was like this, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I probably would be doing that. Or I probably would be stronger in this aspect, but not in this aspect. I probably will be okay with this situation, but not this situation. You know, you're able to put, yourself in that, and you understand them even further. And guess what? Now you can connect deeply with them. And now you can have genuine interactions. Not just, hey, what's up? Oh, nothing much. Oh, how you doing? Oh, just cleaning my car. Oh, that's great. Oh, I gotta go to work. Oh, great. All right, I'll see you. You don't want something generic like that. You want a little more deep, something a little more. And if imagine a world where everybody is not so generic. Everybody is different. Everybody's their own character. Everybody thinks for themselves. Everybody feels what is best for them. Everybody understands how their body works. Everybody understands how their mind works, how their their reality works and everything. That conversation will be something that you will only see in video games and PCs. You don't want to be so generic. You always want to change the pattern, break free. Oh, I miss my exit. But this one's faster.
Spanish, and I know he's from Dominican Republic, I believe. And he's got a bunch of songs that talk about a lot of esoteric wisdom and a lot of hidden secrets among the world. You can see this all yourself. Imagine this like a real life video game. Real life video game where you can do far much more than you ever thought of if you start to realize yourself, if you start to know yourself. That is the best friend that you could ever have. Never leave you. You will never leave yourself alone. Alright. I'm gonna leave it at this for today. And I'll be seeing you tonight or maybe tomorrow. Depending. Maybe tonight because I'm not likely mañana. But I will see you guys later. You take care.